Good evening. Welcome to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting for November 21st, 2022. We do have a quorum, and I call this meeting to order. The first business is I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
I second.
I have a motion from Ms. Haas and a second from Ms. Davison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? All right, we'll jump right into the meeting, and the big thing coming up is the Parade of Lights. Who's talking about this?
That's Kathy.
All right, so Parade of Lights is a week from this Saturday, December 3rd. The Winter Festival will be from 3 to 8, and the parade will start at 5 o'clock at City Hall and funnel into Veterans Park. And we'll have the tree lighting ceremony immediately after the parade.
What time's the parade again?
The parade starts at 5 here at City Hall.
What exactly, Kathy, somebody asked me the other day, and I tried to explain it, what exactly is going on from 3 to 5?
From 3 to 5, well, the Winter Festival's 3 to 8.
Well, I mean,
So-
between 3 o'clock and the time of the parade.
Well, okay, if you're in the parade, then the parade lineup's gonna start around 3:30. So if you're in the parade itself, you'll have to come here at City Hall. Next week, you'll be given a spot number and then the setup times. And then once, I believe 4 o'clock is gonna be the judging. The winners will get a trophy. The first, second, and third place will get a trophy and a banner for the parade entries.
So for people that's not going to the parade, is there something going on at the park that they can be at while the parade's going on?
Yes, the Winter Festival. So that'll be from 3 to 8. We'll have pictures with Santa. Santa will be down there from 3 to 4. And then Santa will be in the parade, and then we'll have picture opportunities again around 6:30 after the parade ends, from 6:30 to 8. But we'll have the snow rink open. We've got craft vendors. We've got some snack vendors. We have carriage rides. We've got 2 carriage rides that are gonna come and go along the walking trail up behind Pavilion B. And the tree lighting ceremony, and fireworks.
And do we have coffee and hot chocolate?
And hot chocolate.
Huh?
We have hot chocolate. I've got a few people that signed up for hot chocolate. And then after the parade, the senior center is gonna be giving away their cookies and hot chocolate that evening as well.
That's no charge?
The senior center's no charge, but I have some vendors that will be selling while the parade is going on and before the parade.
I noticed that Sheila especially, and a lot of others is putting that out on social media, so let's make sure that week of that we all get it out there and share it as much as possible.
And did I hear you right when you were saying for the folks that are in the parade, they show up here?
Correct.
3:30 and 4, and then they get judged before they actually go down the.
Yes,
parade.
once they're in the lineup, we'll have the judges go through here while they're in the lineup right before the parade starts. That way they can display their banner as they're going through the parade, and then they'll be awarded their trophy at the tree lighting ceremony.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Any more questions? All right, let's talk about the snow rink.
That's Kathy too. She's gonna get a majority of all of this.
All right, so the snow rink is already in place on the tennis courts. I don't know if y'all have driven by and seen it. It's already put together. We did extend it or expand it by 50% this year. We're having an employee skate night November 30th, and then it's gonna be open to the public from December 1st to the 17th, from between Thursday and Sunday each week. We're gonna have the first Sunday, December 4th, between 1 and 2, we'll have a special needs skate. And then it will not be open on December 15th. That's the only day during that time frame from Thursday to Sunday it will not be offered.
Can you say those dates again from the?
Well, December 1st through the 17th, Thursday through Sunday during that time period, except for the 15th.
Right.
And tell us about the skates and the little
we
snowmen you
do-
gotta hold on to.
We've got skating aids for the little ones, and we do have several different sizes of skates. Skates are free to the public. You can bring your own skates as long as they're not double-bladed. and we are doing 1 hour increments. So like Thursday's 4 to 8, so you show up, you get to skate from 4 to 5. You show up at 4:30, you'll need to wait till the 5 o'clock skate, or elect to skate for 30 minutes. But we rotate every hour on the hour.
And it is first come, first served.
It is first come, first serve. We're not doing any pre-registration. They'll just have to complete the waiver when they arrive at the park.
And what is the time frame on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Okay, so Thursdays and Fridays are 4 PM to 8 PM. Saturday is 12 to 8. Sunday's 1 to 5. And then, like I said, that first Sunday from 1 to 2 is special needs, so it's open to everybody else 2 to 5 that first Sunday.
Somebody from Parks and Rec will be there while it's open in case
Oh.
there's any.
Yeah, we'll always have somebody from our department there, plus.
I'm just trying to think of questions that the
Yeah.
public may want to know about it.
Yeah, we're kind of excited about that first Sunday, opening it up to families with special needs. So we're gonna get with the EIO and see if we can kind of make that its own separate thing to try to put a little more focus on that. I think that was an element we missed last year, so we'll try to include those families also.
I think that's wonderful.
It's awesome. So last year it would hold about 30, something like that. What
It
would
would
it hold this year?
Yeah, I think it was rated for 45 maybe, or 48, and so we didn't really know what to expect, so we shrunk that number a little bit. But I don't think at any given time, maybe except for the day of the parade, did it get crowded. So with us increasing the size by 50%, I don't think we'll run into any issues this year.
I know
We
it
are
was a-
pushing it out there, though, that, there's no cost to the public to come and skate, but we are encouraging a canned goods or unwrapped toy, unopened, unwrapped toy that we could donate
Is that every day?
every day. Yes, ma'am.
Just anytime.
And, I mean, that's not a requirement
Right.
to participate, but we encourage that.
Yeah, like that.
You're gonna have them, it's always nice when you got an old person up here, and you're gonna have the heaters out there.
Yes, sir.
Well, I remember last year was so cold, I was freezing. My granddaughter loved it. Loved it.
Mine did too.
She didn't even know how to skate, and she was right out there. She used a little helper, but then she got it down pat in like 15 minutes.
That's what Ellie said. This year she won't need the little helper.
I will. Anyway, let's move on to the father-daughter dance.
And I'm gonna turn this one over to Kathy too in just a second. In the past several years, we've kind of pushed this as winter formal and took the emphasis off the father-daughter dance. So our numbers really started to decline. First several years we had this, first 4 or 5 years we had it, we pushed this father-daughter dance. We don't, we include everyone, so we don't turn anyone away, son, mother, aunt, uncle, whoever comes, boy, girl, it doesn't matter. So the door's open to everybody, but I think once we started taking that emphasis off father-daughter dance, our numbers steadily declined. We outgrew the multipurpose building within 2 years and had to use the gym at the school. So this year, our numbers were so low last year, we are moving it back to the multipurpose building. And if it's okay with this board here, we would kind of like to put the emphasis back on father-daughter dance, make that more prominent, but still call it the winter formal also, so everybody knows on our advertisement, it clearly states that everyone is included.
Do you think it's because of winter formal, the word formal makes people think, well, we don't have a tuxedo, or we don't have that fancy clothes?
They
No.
usually dressed up for the father-daughter dance. They were all.
No,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is, being I'm the elephant in the room. Some people were, I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Not very nice.
They didn't like the father-daughter symbol because they felt like we were leaving out mothers, aunts, uncles, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the purpose of it. Father-daughter dances have been going on for many, many years in cities all over the country. So to pacify some of that worrisome, we changed it, as David said, and it got a little bit confusing. I think that people know that when we have a father-daughter dance, Carol is certainly welcome to bring her grandson
And granddaughter.
and granddaughter, and vice versa. I could even bring my grandson. It's just it's a vernacular that people were, some kind of slur, but I totally agree with David, and I like that we're doing that, and putting the emphasis out there that that's not what it is, but to follow a tradition, so to speak, of a father-daughter dance it's always been like that, you know.
Yeah, and I think in our positions and even the board's position that, we kind of gotta walk a fine line there. So kind of what really opened our eyes last year is we were still pushing ours as the winter formal and took the emphasis off the father-daughter, and our numbers were, we might have had 9 people there at the most, where before we were busting at the seams with well over 200 at the multipurpose.
Yeah.
So then you have other communities near us, that butt up against us that had the same event and pushed it as a father-daughter dance and sold tickets for $30 a piece, and they sold out. So that started, we started thinking if they sell out ahead of time and we're getting 9 people at our event that used to be one of our most populars, I mean, sometimes we would have fathers show up with limos, with their kids.
Absolutely.
That was neat. That was neat.
So I'll let Kathy take over and kind of give you guys the details and the dates for what we have planned for that.
All right, so, this year, or I guess next year, February 4th is the first Saturday in February. It is at the multipurpose building from 2 to 4. The theme we've picked this year is Under the Sea, and
Under the what?
Under the Sea, it's a mermaid theme.
Okay.
Did you see the mermaids at Goblins?
I didn't see them, but I seen the pictures. Those
They
were.
are going to come and do the same setup for picture opportunities and interact with the kids, and they're going to do the face painting at the event for the children as well.
There were more children dressed as mermaids
Yes.
or the Little Mermaid than anything else added together. It tripped me out. The movie's not even out. And it's like, and it was just like, I could not believe, and my granddaughter showed up dressed as
Who were those
Right.
people?
mermaid. And it was,
Who were those people? I didn't get a chance to see them. All I seen was pictures. Is that something you can talk about or not?
They're mythical. They're mermaids.
They're mermaids.
I could talk about it,
My
but
bad.
honestly, I don't have it in front of me, so I don't recall.
That's fine. I was just,
I did
like I
reach
said,
out.
I didn't get to see them. I just,
Yeah, she lives here in Lake Forest, the one that I was going back and forth with, and I think she said there's like a group of 6 of them that will, they're starting up their own little business and wanting to do the party scene and so forth. So,
Is that the same one that was at the library for,
I don't believe so, because I gave her information to Miss Donna, and I didn't know she had one, and she had said she just had a mermaid there, but she was gonna add her to her contact list.
because that
I don't
was,
believe so.
that was the summer reading program? Yeah, summer reading program with Miss Donna had.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're a big hit at the Goblins event. So we've tailored our new event, our father-daughter dance, to be able to incorporate them. So it'll be nice. All the little kids will have the face paint to go with their outfits and so
That's
forth.
super cute. Do we have a cost for those tickets yet?
Not yet. I think, what have we done in the past? $5? $5 per family is what it's traditionally been. We've not, I've done the design, but we've not fine-pointed the detailed information to advertise it yet, so I don't know if that's gonna change or not.
Okay.
Is February 4th a Saturday or?
It is a Saturday. It's the first Saturday in February.
So it could be grandma, granddaughter.
Absolutely. It can be anybody.
We're in there. in
Yep.
that group.
No, and see, that was what one of the things were, and it's just simply not like that. It's basically for anybody. If you've got a child that don't have a mom and dad or aunt and uncle or grandma, man, grab them and bring them and let them stand on your toes and dance around with them. You know, it's about fun. It's not about a name, so.
Yeah.
So when we go to announce this or talk about it, you know, on Facebook, I think we should follow it, father-daughter dance, and whoever wants to attend, kind of, it should kind of
Absolutely.
continue.
Everybody's welcome.
It's for the kids. It's basically
the
bring
kids.
the kids and let the kids have fun. And they also have wonderful snacks.
Oh, yeah,
Gotta have snacks.
We'll have snacks, and we have a DJ come in, so it'll be children-themed music as well.
okay.
And I can't remember, I think in the past, if it was $5 per couple, that was that covered your whole family.
Correct, $5.
So if you had 3 kids, there was no upcharge after the initial $5.
Yeah,
Do
make
you
it,
have an age limit?
Nope.
No, ma'am.
No age limit, okay. So 13-year-old will be fine.
Oh, Chief Walker used to come with his daughter when she was in college.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, there's no age limit.
okay.
all right, let's move on to Martin Luther King.
All right, so it is scheduled for January 16th at 10 o'clock here in the boardroom at City Hall. Shamil Babalosa is going to be one of our speakers. Theowana Hatchett, she is confirming because of the surgery. So she will confirm with me, and then I've reached out to a third speaker. I've not heard back yet. So that will be here like we have in prior years. 10, the speakers will have refreshments,
What time was that again?
10 a.m.
Is Shamil, has she moved back?
I don't believe so. She did not tell me if she has or not. I've been going back and forth with her in email, so I'm not sure.
For those of you who don't know her, she is fabulous. She's fabulous. I won't go into a lot of detail, but she's fabulous, and if, I'm hoping that she will give you some more information about another event. If her and Commissioner Hope Oliver can work it out.
What's her name again?
But her name is Shamil Babalosa.
Babalosa.
I call her Sherille. All right, Lord have mercy. We're talking about this already, and it,
We're back to that again, wow.
Gotta start early.
You said, wow,
well, you know, and I think me and David talked about this back a couple months ago when we had it, that it seemed like just yesterday we started talking about it, and boom, it was here. So let's talk a little bit about Old Timers Festival.
Well, we're gonna throw a couple things out just to get some feedback from you guys. We were kinda on the fence if we wanted to do it tonight, but we're gonna go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. What's your thoughts on there's several things we'd like to see do. One is kinda rebrand the name, kinda get away from the Old Timers Festival, because I think Laverne has outgrown that. For people that, I personally don't have an issue with it, and I grew up in this city. So I was on the front end of it, but I just think we have grown past the Old Timers name, and I think it may deter some people from coming out and wanting to participate. Number 2 is, what y'all's thoughts on moving away from the parade and just focusing on one parade, the Christmas parade, or do we want to keep the Old Timers Day parade?
Wow, that's some tough questions. I guess my first question would be is what name are you thinking about?
We don't know. That would be, this board, we would have to come together with some ideas. I don't know, we've kicked around maybe Laverne Fall Festival or, we don't know. We're not 100% sure that the name is not the branding now is not a deterrent.
We could actually create a poll and get the public involved, since they're the ones that come and participate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as sitting on the board and you guys being citizens of Laverne, what are your thoughts on Old Timers Day? Are we proposing something that we shouldn't be, or?
No, I think you're onto something there. Yeah, because if you were new here and you're like, old timers, you're gonna think old-timey music, you're gonna think antiques, you're gonna think flea market.
But,
Well, and you've got the traditional people that, like, my parents' generation, not so much mine, but theirs. There's not a whole lot of them around anymore, and when they think of old timers, or they come to that day, they want to take it back to what it was in the late 70s, early 80s, and we just can't do that. So much has changed, we can't get those elements to come, and there's not a whole lot of those elements around. You know, you've got Uncle Dave Making Days that ties up a bunch of stuff in Murfreesboro, and then you've got, you know, Mule Days, and then you've got Pioneer Days, I think, in Chapel Hill. It's
Well, we've
just so
kind of,
much.
even in the festival itself every year, we've kind of gotten away from that. We're bringing in like the axe throwing, we're throwing in animals and more things for families. And it's that, when I first moved here and went, there was more of the old timers. It was very small. It was very flea market feel, and then there was a whole section over on the side with pictures where they were more celebrating the history of Laverne. And there's a time and a place for that, but this has become more of a festival for families, and it's been going in a different direction for years, and I honestly think that's a great idea on rebranding the name on it and be able to pull in more people from even further out, and take that out of the back of their brain that it's,
Well, if we go ahead and start, do a thing to change the name, like have a poll or whatever, it'll start building momentum for it. Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I didn't even call it the Old Timers Fest. I was just like, the Founders Festival. And that's just what and didn't even think about it, and we were talking about it, it popped back in my head.
I like
That's
Laverne
it.
City Festival. I think that's neat, and I think our name should be in there for the city, and just a festival.
I kind of agree with what Laura's saying about, and David, with the new, you've got people that see it as an old timers festival, and it kind of detours them away, but at the same time, you got the old people that say, why are they changing it? But unfortunately, there is more younger people. I think it's a.
more families are gonna come
More
out.
families. Now, to mix in the parade, that really brings up a good thing, because, I'm up in front. So when I get back, I'm there, and by the time the whole parade comes through, a lot of people
Have left.
are ready to go home.
Well, and it's definitely something to think about. I mean, everybody loves a good parade. I think what we have too, pretty much, I don't say back to back, but they're within 3 months of each other, 4 months of each other.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot on emergency services, the PD, it's a lot on them. They have to fully staff it, so they are finally fully staffed, but the guys that work on the night shift, they have no choice but to stay over during the day until the parade's done. I mean, it's something to think about. I know the PD and the fire department would not oppose getting rid of it. I don't know how much pushback we would get from that.
Well, think about it. We have old timers, 5K, and then the Christmas parade. It's all slammed in there together. And as someone with Carol that has worked these, it's difficult. It's
Well,
difficult.
and it's gotten to be the last several years, the end of the parade, you're looking at 200 to 250 horses.
I was about to
Which
say
we
that.
enjoy the horses to come, but if we don't have that issue in the Christmas parade because they don't participate. We enjoy those, that's a big draw, but if we want to move forward and we still want to have a parade at OTF, then we're going to have to limit the number of participants of
Yeah.
horses. We're gonna
But I also, like Steve said, as someone who's out there working it, you get those big gaps, and then people are walking away not realizing that it's over, and then they're going home. Whereas we could put more effort into pulling them to the park without that parade, and focus more on the advertising aspect of it and all the fun stuff. And so you've got the little kids, and they come out there, and they're excited for the parade, and then they're tired, and they want to go home. Whereas, let's go straight up here and just do this. And then, you know, you've got your traffic up here, people coming in and participating, and that is in itself just a whole mess, trying to get through the parade traffic, to get up there, and people just don't wanna, they just don't wanna wait, they don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
So, I think we should focus absolutely more on the festival and save the parade for the Christmas, because that is the best part. It's lit up, it's at night. We're one of the very few that do them at night. Can't really think of too many places around here. They all do them in the mornings, Nashville, Smyrna, Murfreesboro. And I think we could put more effort into getting more people involved if that's the only one we have.
Well,
I think also too, if you've, the parade and the Old Timers Day, Festival, whatever you wanna call it, if you have bad inclement weather, then you've got two different almost entities to deal with to try and maneuver out. I think it's a good idea, David, and I know some little kids like the parade, and I know some parents that do, but I also know people that want to come to the park. Bring their families, you know, that sort of stuff. So
I think it would encourage more. It would, I almost feel like it keeps people away. If parade's not your thing, but you want to go to that, well, we got to wait till that's over and all the traffic and oh, they've got to move the lanes back. It does kind of, I would think, hinder you wanting to come out and participate.
well, you know, we're not having a December meeting anyway, so our next meeting will be January. We're still gonna have this on there, so that may give you guys a little bit of time to get out in the community and talk to people and mention it. You know, do you participate in OTF? If you do you really wanna continue to see the parade? And see what kind of feedback you get. I know as far as city staff goes, I kinda know where we sit on it. Every department that was involved, we generally have a follow-up after that, just to discuss what we did right and what we did wrong. And that was one of the topics that came up. And majority of the people were, you know, were on board with, if we did away with it, they wouldn't have an issue with it. So it's something, we wanted to throw that out there, so we have time to know what to do next year.
Well, and let's look at it this way. Some of the groups that have to be involved with the traffic and the parade would have the ability to be a bigger part of the festival if they weren't tied up there. Like, we have to get the kids that help with the parking. Maybe they would like to have a booth. Maybe they would like to do something up there. But by the time they finish all of that, well, no. So that might actually help us get a bigger festival and way more people involved if you're not tied up in so many different things.
And you know what, this year I think we had how many school bands did we have in it?
In the old timers, we had one in old
So
timers.
if we did that, if we get away from the parade, but we still invited several schools out, maybe we could kind of have like a little battle of the bands in the park. Because time them kids walk a mile and a half,
You're right.
they're wore out.
And they're not gonna participate in the festival either, even as far as walking around and looking at everything because they're exhausted.
So let me back up here a little bit, because it's not on here, just, and I may be putting the buggy before the horse here. What are you guys planning for the carnival thing?
He told me he was gonna get with me before the end of the year. He's wanting to come in May versus at the end of his tour, because it was so hot when he came here last time. So, I don't know when in May. He goes to Minnesota in May, so he would wanna hit our area before he went to Minnesota, but I don't have definite dates because he's not gotten.
So you don't think getting the carnival like a little bit before Old Timers is a good idea?
I mean, I could try. We really liked this carnival that we had this last time, but to get him here during that time frame would not work because of his schedule. 'Cause
And
he
it
has
kind of
certain
took away
states-
from the festival too.
And he has certain states that he goes to. So if he were to come here before he goes to Minnesota, it would have to be in May.
Which might be good for an end-of-school bash for the kids.
And that's what we were thinking. It's not as hot. Hopefully it would be before they got out of school, right before, so they weren't already on vacation. But yeah, it would either be middle of May or it's gonna be the end of September again, which was after OTF this last time. So,
No, I thought it was before OTF.
was it before OTF?
It was before OTF.
It was
It was
just
the end of August.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
it
end of
was-
August. I apologize. I was
Yeah.
getting it in.
It was a couple of
Halloween
weeks
Moon.
before.
Yeah, I think it was the weekend before Labor Day.
Okay, we could try. I know the heat was a big thing with him though.
Yes, it was very hot.
But you are correct, because there were 3 areas in Tennessee he did, and we're the first one he went to. So we could try to maybe, readjust that with him. But the heat, I don't know. It was his request to come before.
Tennessee weather, you can't be trying to,
Just the logistics of getting a carnival in the front parking lot and then trying to use your back parking lot for food vendors or whatever, then we're basically out of space, because we have nowhere to park cars. And heaven forbid if we get a rain and that front field gets damp, and even if you do have a carnival and you can use the back parking lot and you don't have where to park cars.
I totally agree.
I
Yeah, so I mean, we'll check all options.
Yeah, I don't want it with our festival at all because it took away and because most of those carnivals put those stipulations that you can't have this or this because we have it, and it takes away from some of our local vendors.
And some of our vendors did also voice that they would not come if we had the carnival because the parents spend the money on the carnival and then they're not selling anything.
Well, I wasn't,
Food vendors, but the
I
craft.
I was in no way going down that road.
Right.
That's not what I was saying. I'm just saying if it kinda, the way it worked out this past year was it kinda coincided with OTF, and it looked like it was a fun couple of weeks of festivities, but if you can't
Okay.
get him, then you can't get him. Getting back to polls, and I put something like this out, was if you wanna be in a business to where you make everybody happy, do not get into politics. As the vice mayor and sitting on that board and listening to the do's and don'ts of people, you're gonna get blasted on polls. Sometimes as leaders, we have to make decisions. Because that's just the way it is. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. So I think we need to talk a little bit more about it, January. Get some of our ideas together, and if you wanna talk to people and get polls and stuff, but just know that you talk to, this person and that person, and they're like on different spectrums of ideas. Good luck to you,
We could make it a contest.
That's what I was thinking.
so.
Well, and I don't know really how truthful polls are. If you put out, do you want to see the parade continue? You're gonna have people that don't come to the parade that are gonna be like, yeah, I love a good parade. Why would they get rid of the parade? And they're gonna say, yeah, keep
And then
it."
they don't come.
Yeah.
No, for me, the polls was more of if we
know
can come up with some names
I know all
for
about
the
it.
festival and then let people choose, but I also kind of want to see it as maybe like a contest too, just to get the public involved in renaming it. We're, changing history here and getting away from that. And I want absolutely for the public to feel involved, that we do this for you.
I think the parade should be our decision, like y'all's, us, the cities, just, like, if it makes sense to do it, great, let's keep doing it. If it doesn't, then we just stop it.
Yeah, the manpower and the overtime alone
Yeah.
are a lot.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and we just had that parade, and now we're doing the Christmas one.
Yeah. And you have to
Last thing,
5K.
The 5K, yeah.
we're gonna throw at y'all on the, Old Timers Day is, we don't know how to move forward with the music. We don't know, we're throwing a lot of money at music acts and we're not getting a return on the investment. If you're, we don't know how to win there. that's what we struggled with. That's what we've struggled with the whole time we've been putting this on, since this staff has been on board. How do we win on the entertainment side? Or do we just start scaling back and use that money somewhere else? You got $20,000 tied up in a couple of music acts because you gotta get the stage trailer, the audio, 2 music acts, their catering, and you're getting 50 people at the most to show up to an event. When do you finally say something's not working? The most people we have had was last year at the Resurrection concert. We probably had 200. I would say this year I had a clicker and I was counting. I don't remember which night I was counting, Friday or Saturday, but I counted at the end of the night, I had 180 on the clicker, and that was generous. If somebody drove by and looked at me, I counted them. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, I thought after we just did it, we talked about scaling back how many acts we were gonna have. You know, not have an all-day thing, just a shorter time period.
Yeah, we don't really know what the answer is. That's kind of why we're bringing it
Yeah.
to you guys too. You know, we don't know
Well,
how to
so
fix it.
on Saturday, if you're out there all day at this festival and with your family and enjoying, it's hard to get people to come back, and they're not gonna stay the whole time. Most people aren't. So if we were going to do a big entertainer Friday night to kick it off,
Yeah,
and then Saturday, maybe we just, like you said, have a local battle of the bands, that type thing. And so if you're just gonna do like music, Friday night, y'all come out, we're excited for tomorrow, and then Saturday, get the local bands, or if there's even some local garage bands, and do a battle of the bands.
we could do that, or, I mean, most people are just listening to the music. I mean, we could just have a DJ out there, and I'm sure that would save the city a lot of money.
Well, we've thought about that too, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We've thought about on Friday, the biggest crowd we had on a Friday night was probably 4 years ago when we showed a movie to kick it off. We had a movie on the football field.
That's,
Football field was packed.
We could
that's what
probably
I
do
was,
that.
that's what I was gonna recommend, is, cause whenever we've had movie nights, I mean, the football field is packed. So kick it off with a movie night.
And it was here, and you know, we're not, I mean, we have the screen. The only thing we would be out would be the licensing fee on the movie that we would show.
Do we have something besides inflatables?
Working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that's just been a big hindrance, like we get it planned
Yeah.
and the
We're
winds.
working on, fabricating something at this point off the football press box that's big enough, that will come off, that'll be wide enough to hold the screen on like a cable and pulley type system, that we can raise it up to the top of the press box. That way the wind's not gonna blow us out again.
Right.
So, I don't know, it's just an idea. We had good luck with the movie that night.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then
it's,
if we're gonna put money out and we don't want to keep bringing the same bands back, cause we're all fighting for the same, then I kinda like the battle of the bands. We can do like the garage bands, we can do the high school bands, things of that nature. If we're gonna spend money, give them a gift card. Here's a $100 gift card, as opposed to $20,000 on entertainment that nobody's listening to.
Right.
Give back to the community and let the winner have a $100 gift card.
If we're doing a whole name change and a rebrand, we don't need to stick with the same old, like Fleetwood Mac, what are they, 80s, 70s, 80s? We like start doing something a little more newer, younger,
Right.
rather than just we're all.
But we're really involving the public
Yeah,
too.
we're doing other things that other kids,
Because if they're coming, so are their relatives.
Right.
But if we open it up to like high school bands, like the marching bands or whatever, and just have them perform, we're not gonna pay them, right?
Or gift card, like.
Yeah, they
What-
may, I don't know how we would do that, if they would
Well-
just get a trophy maybe for the winner.
Well, I was gonna say we could just make a donation to their
Right.
program, because if you give every kid, some bands are large, and that could be more money than actually hiring a band. But if you made a donation to their band program, that would go a longer way for them, because my oldest son was in band. There was car washes and, all that stuff they have to do to pay for that, and that might be a way to attract more people to it.
gosh.
Well, and you've got to realize the entertainment is half of our budget for Old Timers Day.
Right, well, let's take it back and put it somewhere else.
Well,
Especially
this,
during the day, nobody shows up.
it's kind of funny you mentioned that because we've kind of talked amongst ourselves and with some of the city staff about pulling that money out of there and reallocating it to maybe a different night where we kind of have like a faith night or a family night. I don't know what kind of pushback we get from the public on that, but it has been huge in Murfreesboro. They've shut the square down several times. And we can do that. I think that would go over huge. Partner with a local church for a cause, Feed the Hunger or something, and get some artists in here.
Yeah. We can do it. If it doesn't work, then we just don't do it again.
Well, I think if you get, there's a lot of Christian radio artists that are pretty mainstream anymore that live around in this area. So I think if we partner with the church that had that avenue, that's something we could look at, putting some of those funds towards in the future.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great.
I think we get
Sheila?
more return on our money than spending that kind of money and watching 30 people enjoy music.
Right,
Sounds like you need to get it back on the agenda, Miss Sheila. Poster. So, I guess we could have very long conversations about this. I think it's gonna be something that you guys are gonna have to talk about, come up with some strategic ideas, and we can talk to people. I wouldn't put anything out there just yet, and just kind of talk about it and come back with a fresh start on the new year and get it going. Our next meeting won't be until next year, January 23rd, 2023. Between now and then, we'll hope we get those 77 inches of snow like they did in New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Miss Jody, we'll start out with you. You got any concerns, comments?
No, I think we have a lot of food for thought here, that's for sure, a lot of things to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wasn't even expecting to have this much to think about, like new names, new bands, new ideas, new,
Hey, this bunch over here keeps us busy.
yeah, it's good, I like that. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect today. This is good.
Mr. Chuck?
I think I'm good.
All right. Commissioner Davidson?
well, I'm excited. I am ready for the skating rink, and I'm ready for the Christmas parade, and I look forward to seeing all of y'all there.
Vice Chair Hawes?
I'm excited with what's coming down the road with the holiday, and happy Thanksgiving. Everybody be safe on your travels. And I don't know if Vice Mayor No's going to mention or not, but this is my last meeting.
Oh, I'm definitely going to miss.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to steal his thunder, so anyway, I will continue to attend meetings or view the meetings on the YouTube. I will continue to be here. I'm kind of like one of those bad pennies. You can't get rid of me, or a rotten apple. You can't get rid of me because I will be there. So everybody be safe. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see y'all in December.
If y'all get a chance, go by the skate park and check out the new LED lights. I went by there today, and the LED lights are going up. Of course, they're going up all over the city, so that's going to be great. But as Ms. Haas said, congratulations.
Thank you.
And this is your last meeting.
Yes, it is.
The next meeting you'll be setting up here with the mayor, the rest of the aldermen.
December 1st.
And we wish you the best of luck in your venues, and thank you so much for being a part of this board. And I know you well enough to know that you're going to be at the events. We're not going to be able to get rid of you.
Nope.
I wish we had more like you in this city, but we've enjoyed you on this board. But unfortunately, you can't be here with
I
me.
know. I tried.
So you're more than welcome to come to the meetings. They're open to the public.
I will.
And as you said, watch them on YouTube. And
She's gonna leave some big shoes to fill. Whoever gets
Yep.
that seat's
I was
gonna have to
gonna say, do
step
we
it on
have,
up.
Like is there a vote out or
Nope.
anything for people to, somebody to?
Well, they can apply online,
Yeah,
the applications.
Time of the year? It doesn't have to be a certain time?
no, they have to apply, again, contact Bruce, again, application, you fill it out, and then
Her seat,
brought up.
her seat is now, I guess,
After this
Not
meeting,
a-
it becomes vacant.
Yeah.
Okay.
comes vacant. So anyway, all right, guys, we'll be seeing y'all around for the holidays, the parade, all that good stuff. David, Kathy, Sheila, great job as always, and we will see you guys next year in this setting. I call this meeting adjourned.